Jim, we got retailers out with results, obviously. Home Depot beating on the top and the bottom line. Comps did miss, hurt by poor weather in February, and a steep decline in lumber prices. And then there's Kohl's, down after weaker than expected earnings. They cut their full-year guide. CEO Michelle Gass saying, quote, "The year has started off slower than we'd like, but our first quarter sales coming in below expectations." She goes on to express some optimism about the second half, Jim, but comps down 3-4. We were looking for just 2/10.
Yeah, what's interesting is that the word was out. My Travel Trust owns this. I know I'd be sold some higher, feeling stupid right now. But the company, anyone who was close to the company said, look, we have a feel there's going to be disappointment. But there's disappointment a la Home Depot. And then there's disappointment like, are you kidding me? And right now they're in the are you kidding me camp, especially because they are. Especially because they was talking a pretty good game. Down 11%, it makes sense. It's going to be protected by the yield. Is it the Macy's value trap? I think that these guys have a good a relationship with Amazon. I think it can come back. But I think people are sick of retail. Look at Nordstrom, look at Macy's, and they're just saying, you know what? Amazon's eviscerating everyone. Thank heavens for Kohl's. They have a relationship with Amazon. I want to see what Michelle Gass says before I pronounce these guys completely out of the equation, because I do believe in the longer-term theory that these guys have a place. They have a place because they're in strip malls. They have a place because they have a relationship with Amazon. But it was daunting versus, say, TJX or versus Home Depot. Count me as a believer, but I got to hear something soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, you mentioned TJX, though. That would seem to say, hey, things are okay in certain areas of retail. I mean, they put up some nice numbers, didn't they, Jim? We're talking overall sales up 7%, and even same-store sales were up over 5%, right? Yeah, 5% over last year's 3% increase. So that's moving in the right direction for Marshalls and TJX
David,
and
go across
Home Goods and everything else. Yeah.
Go across the street with me. Go across the street with me to 14 Wall. You wouldn't believe the bargains in underwear.
I've been in there. I have gone in there.
The bargains in... You have?
What for socks and things.
Or were you just sightseeing? How about the socks? David,
socks.
The best crew socks, do they call them? What do they call them? But that's where I all the stuff you can't see, I buy there. Well, I mean, like, you can't see, meaning, like, you can't,
Understood. The undergarments. Yes.
Kind of.
Well, Michelle Gass, guys, is on the tape now saying that February was particularly tough, Jim. A highly competitive promotional environment, especially in home goods. And then she goes on to say the weather was not a help at all either. As for Home Depot, a lot of people want to know whether or not they think salt impact had anything to do on the quarter. I mean, slowest Q1 growth since 2015.
Well, look, Carol Tomei's retiring. I always like her input, CFO, that people want to invest in homes as the value goes up. Some people think that salt valuations have peaked for, in other words, houses that are in that area. I would come back and say, as a gardener, are you kidding me? I mean, there's been nothing. I mean, I went yesterday to Home Depot. Still nothing. There's just nothing because the ground is too wet and the season's being missed. These guys need sunshine. They need sunshine.
We should, I think, just for those viewers who are wondering if we're talking about salt, soil, I don't know. We're talking, of course, about the state and local tax income deduction that is no longer available except up to $10,000 for people in high-tax states where it is thought to be pressuring the real estate value overall and therefore perhaps as a secondary measure sort of hitting the likes of Home Depot because you don't want to put money in your home. Jim, that sounds logical to me.
Well, I have Trex on tonight. Let's see what they say. You use Trex. I mean, look at the lumber number is daunting. Obviously, if you want to do some sort of refurbishment, you're going to need lumber. Yeah, look, I'm not going to dismiss it, but the multiples have gotten lower for these, and you're still going to want to invest in your house or fix up your house. There's still renovation. You don't stop renovating just because your taxes went up, but it is brutal. I mean, as a homeowner, I can't look at Zillow. I mean, it's easier to look at the worst horror film than look at Zillow. I mean, I take it back to Psycho. I mean, I'm not kidding. The Hills Have Eyes, Chucky, than my house.
You may have less available funds to do the upgrades that you'd originally planned as a result of paying more in overall real estate taxes.
Well, you feel poor.
The call began at 9 o'clock, by the way, guys. We'll monitor the call, see if anything comes off the Home Depot